And we should be live. Let me go ahead and check. It says we are. Yes, we are in fact live. Awesome. All right. Hello, everyone. Ace here. Welcome to the live stream. I hope you are all having a good day. I am joined with returning guest Ursocium.
Hello, everyone.
And we are once again back with some more Star Wars Empire. This time having a look at issue number 12, which is going to be, I guess, about the Battle of Yavin. So, alright, we'll see how this goes. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into it, shall we? In the hours after the mutiny on board the Rand Ecliptic, Biggs Darklighter and his companions stay alert. They drink fully of the time they have left, but hope for sanctuary is running out as quickly as their air supply. You want to voice this character?
Okay. Biggs, it's Pete Kirill. Request private channel.
Okay, Pete, we're scrambled.
Biggs, it's getting hard to breathe. I don't want to go slow like that.
I understand, and, oh, blast it all. Go back to Clear Channel. Everybody, it's time to change tactics. I hope it wouldn't have come to this, but it has. We're going back to the Rand Ecliptic.
What? Surrender? Better to die free than be lying up and shot for mutiny.
I'm not talking surrender. I'm talking about shooting our way in and stealing extra air and fuel tanks. Editor's note, it has been established that TIE pilots must wear pressure suits as the fighters themselves carry no life support systems. However, for this story, we have taken dramatic license in order to show you the expressions on the pilots' faces. So they are actually acknowledging the lore, and they're just doing this to show you the expressions of the pilots, which I think is a fair thing to do.
Yeah, it's the same with Space Marines not having any helmet in the middle of combat.
Mm.
I mean, if they don't have any helmet, they will be shot by a fucking flashlight.
Yeah. Alright.
Is this the same character?
I'm assuming that this is your character, yeah.
Okay. Starlight, you have gone particularly space crazy, and I love the sound of it. Count me in. Woohoo!
They find the Rand Ecliptic still on course. The plan is to get in and out so fast its crew cannot react. But despite the risk, the atmosphere is one of sepulchral silence. No incoming fire, and now this?
Where are the other TIE fighters? Blast!
Kern, come with me. We'll cover you two while you top off the tanks. We didn't leave it this messed up. Guess we missed the main event. Shh. Conk, shunk, conk, shunk. You want to voice the droid?
Yeah, okay. Don't shoot, Imperial Ship. When the Ecliptic was commissioned standard galactic time.
Relax, droid. Give me a report. What happened here? No, recently. The battle.
We read it. Okay. I believe it was a mutiny, sir. Quite a role, if I may dare to offer an opinion.
Who won? Who's in charge?
I believe that will be second mate Clivian, sir. He led the mutiny. Or will that be Captain Clivian?
You really forced my hand, Darklighter. If you just let me get a word out before trying to slit my throat, you would have learned yours wasn't the only rebel cell on the Rand Ecliptic. In fact, 2 more cells turned up. Once the fighting started, it took a while to sort out who was whom. Clever of you to disrupt all those ship systems. That really helped our side. They captured an Imperial Star Destroyer.
I genuinely thought that he was just going to stab them in the back, not that they were our rebels.
Yep. And the TIE fighters? A group with Imperial sympathies chose to absent themselves once they saw how the battle went. We let them go, all but one. Why the one? Our academy classmate, Tarzan Andy. It was he who destroyed the lock, killing all those people. I saw him do it, but thought it wise to hold my tongue at the debriefing. Boy, I'm sorry I wasn't around for all the action. Me too. Old wrong side of history here locked himself in his quarters. Do you want to voice this guy for what he... I mean...
Yeah, for however long he lasts.
We would have left him there if not for some technical questions about Imperial communication codes. So Biggs going to pull rank on me and take over? Well, Hobby, I don't know how the Rebel Alliance command structure works, but it's plain to see you've earned command of this vessel, and until the Alliance says differently, well, First Mate Biggs Darklighter reporting for duty, sir. The Rebel base on Yavin 4, sometime later. Hand me that spanner, will you, Hobby? Yow! Easy. Sorry, I'm still getting used to the arm. Strong, isn't it? You could arm wrestle a Wookiee with that thing. Not that it makes up for your losing your... if only we had the ships refitting these ties with hyperdrives. If only we had the ships refitting these ties with hyperdrives is the messiest patch-up I've ever seen. That's what today's briefing is about, getting more spacecraft. General Dodonna is supposed to have a plan. You want to voice this character?
Yeah. By the way, can the hyperdrive fit inside the tie?
You know, I don't really know.
Because it is not a smart thing. Well, curiosity for later, I suppose.
Yeah.
This is the Income Corporation Assembly Facility. We have some friends there. The fighters we want are stored in these hangars here, right beside the Imperial Security Bureau station that oversees the compound. Unfortunately. Some have you may have seen X-Wings before. They are good ships. Opinions differ on why the Empire has instead opted for the TIE fighters. Expenses, fighting capabilities, bribery. I am with those who think that the Empire didn't want their fighters to have hyperdrive capabilities. It would make it too easy for their pilots to defect. Did I hear a sigh from you, gentlemen? I suppose you are entitled. But your defection, or its manner, is relevant to our discussion today. My idea involves the Rand ecliptic.
Dodonna outlines his plan. It's audacious, and they like that. But to Biggs, who has recently seen human bodies cartwheeling in cold space, one element makes his neck hairs prickle. Blink. I don't know. I'm willing to do anything with a control stick in my hands as long as I'm piloting. I've got a chance, I figure. You want to voice this character?
You...
Oh yeah, my bad. I messed a line. But floating naked, helpless out there...
We can just We can't just shoot it out in a straight engagement. They'll get so many of us. We will lack the pilots to fly out the X-Wings. We need some sort of trickery.
Just the same, Doc, when I eject, sacrificing TIE fighters is the least worst alternative. I think General Dodonna is quite the tactician. I'll be clutching a high-energy blaster in my cold-gloved fingers. The group laughs. The group laughs at Big's absurdity, but the laughter is nervous, and some think couldn't hurt.
Ooh, new agent. Do I voice him?
Go ahead.
Okay. Got this birthdays up and I'm ready to go. But one thing I don't get. Why you at the hyperdrive if the RAN ecliptic is going the same place? You could ride in comfort and deploy this from the frigate when you get there.
We want them to think we're alone. Then we lead them on a merry chase. Once they're drawn away, the RAN shows up and picks up the X-Wings.
Why can't you fly the X-Wings home? They have hyperdrives.
They do, but you need an R2 unit to navigate the hyperdrive. Don't have them yet. Not enough, anyways. One thing at a time. They cannot smell the air of Yavin 4, perfumed by flowers too bizarre to describe. But as they prepare to jump to hyperspace, they savor the pastel colors of the sun, reflected by the gas giant Yavin, then refracted by the moon's moist air. These are colors some eyes will never see again. Sometime later, Big's Darklighter prepares the never-routine rendings of reality that marks the transition from hyperdrive. It is especially disconcerting this time, for unlike most planned transitions, well away from gravitational objects like planets, this is close to the world where income corporation facilities exist. The point is to draw attention. To this extent, the raid is successful. The ISB squadron is off the ground. Let's see some flying, gentlemen. This is the moment of truth. Switch to droid pilots on 3. 1, 2, 3! Ejection in space is not as physically violent as that into an airstream. In fact, if not for the thrusters of the ejection apparatus itself, the body would retain the momentum of the ship and pace it at an equivalent speed. But there are other hazards. In the black market flight suits and incredible speeds involved, the pilots are invisible to the Imperial fighters. They need fear only a randomly effective blast bolt or a blind collision. The fighter's passage takes no more time than an inhalation of breath. In other words, an eternity. Are you okay there, Uros? There's some static coming in.
Yeah, I don't know why it sometimes sounds like that.
Ah, okay.
I'll do what I can on my end.
Alright. Darklighter here. Report, you guys.
Muy bien. I'm hit. I don't believe this. My right shin and foot got clipped off. My sweet self-sealer worked. The wounds are frozen already. No bleeding. Minimal pressure loss. But it's starting to hurt. The loon reporting. I'm okay, I think.
Corinne? Corinne, report, please. Report. Pete? The droid pilots empty craft as programmed, dodging erratically. They lead the predatory pack for as long as they can. But no droid can match the instincts and judgment of a skilled pilot. Scree! The ruse will only work for so long.
Poor Archers.
Yeah. Corinne, report.
Down there. I think I see him. Let me...
What do you see, DeLund? Pete, if you can hear me, wave your arms if you're okay.
Biggs, he isn't going to win. He didn't make it. Sorry.
Keep an eye on him. When they pick us up, we'll get him too, full honors. Try to relax, the shuttle will be here soon. Even with the planet hanging below them, space is impossibly huge and empty. 4 human satellites still alive, one of them in agony. They wait. Alright, want to voice this character?
Okay. Starlighter, we have a fix on only 3 beacons. Will there be just 3 pickups?
Negative. That's 4 pickups. We will direct you. The mood is somber but tense. The rebels know their decoys are likely destroyed by now, and that the Imperials will soon return. Sooner than others. Biggs watches in horror. If the shuttle is destroyed, nobody will be left to fly out the X-Wings. They will get no second chance. It's an absurd matchup. Any would agree. A man with his blaster floating in space like a bubble in the ocean against a speeding state-of-the-art Imperial TIE fighter. But sometimes you get lucky.
And the TIE fighters don't have any shielding.
TIE fighter's gonna tie. Soon Biggs and the other pilots are safely aboard the shuttle. Curran's body is respectfully placed in a storage container and storage chamber, and a wound pack is slapped on Hobby's leg.
Oh yes. That is a relief. Very well.
Hobby, can you...
Get somebody to carry me to my bed and watch me fly. You can count on me, Biggs.
The doctor said we had friends here, but keep your blasters handy just in case. The smell of plastics and fresh welds greets them. There's also a lone guard.
Don't shoot. I'll cooperate.
TVA says, so long, sucker. Yeah, sucks to be a droid in Star Wars. Yes, yes it does.
To be fair, some of them ask for it.
Alright.
You certainly don't have to hurt me to get me to tell you that pressing the first 4 prime numbers in quick succession will clear the computers of the denial of flight disabling program.
Good. I hoped we wouldn't have to get rough.
Also, no torture is needed to force me to open the hangar door using my code key.
Okay, make it snappy, or else. Hobby is eased into a cockpit. Switches are thrown, buttons pushed, controls gripped, thrusters whine, ships lift. The unfamiliar, thrilling sensations of new machinery coming to life invigorate the pilots. It doesn't get better than this.
Well, the world was pliable.
Screaming engines rip apart the air. Like blood to a body, a gleaming transfusion of pure hope runs from the ground to sky to waiting frigate. For a moment, dead comrades and missing limbs are forgotten, as G-Force slams them without touching their weightless spirits. This is triumph, hard won, the best kind. Later, I am informed you have visitors, Master Clivian. Do you wish to see them?
So, what I mean? Oh, money.
Just me, Wedge, Doc, and Jack. We've been practicing some moves. You gotta see the X-Wings in action, Hobby. Rogue Squadron is going to give the Empire some grief. We gotta get you back in the cockpit. What's the delay? Well, oh, right, that's your line.
Well, apart from the fact that I have to wait for an acknowledge to be delivered, some kind of infection has started. They think it is something native to Yavin for, resistant to treatment so far.
Does it hurt?
No, but I am weak. Angry. I am not safe to fly. What's next for you guys? Since this is their cover operation, we'll keep personnel and ships to a minimum. Not that we have much choice. We are critically short of the R2 units the X-Wings need for hyperspace, navigation, and system management, except for a handful of them. They are built without brains. The Empire seems to have anticipated our need. Word has come that R2 units are being impounded or strictly controlled all over the galaxy. You are to meet up with a transport vessel that, if all goes well, will be smuggling some of them and escort it here.
And where do we meet it, sir? I tell you, Hobby, nothing Dodonna said prepared me for the sight of all those ships. Commoner must be some major league trading planet. You should see it sometime. Made me feel like a real rube from Tatooine. But it made it easier for us to slip in. There are a fair number of X-Wings in service across the galaxy, but I still felt we stuck out like the tusks on a grackle cat. We were told to play a card game, Sabak, until we were directed where to go. I didn't trust the droid dealer. Until it had dealt Wedge a card that told us the hangar where the smuggler's ship was. Then trouble came. Some local toughs planted themselves on our rented land speeder, tried to shake us down for a protection fee. But they made a mistake. They made a fat joke about Jack. He left a few for us to knock around a bit. I'm not usually much for brawling, but it felt good to see those punks spitting teeth on the deck. Am I getting hardened, Hobby? This is actually a reference to issue 0 of Rogue Squadron, so that's a nice little touch.
Yeah, this comic is quite nice, I have to admit.
Mm-hmm.
Not that there was much about. So.
You never know what a smuggler is going to be like, but Captain Dantel's was beautiful, Hobby. Exotic. My type. You laugh, but I've got a date with her to walk the temple parapets tonight. Something's there, I swear. Anyway, she showed us her ship, the Starduster. We used our 2 units back on Tatooine to serve as vaporators, and I've always taken them for granted. But seeing them in the Starduster's hold, like a nest of oval cubes, or oval cubs, well, I just had to laugh. Those bloop-bleeping things were going to fight space battles with us. Dantels let us out in the Starduster, but a dozen TIE fighters came at us from the moon for lore. We agreed they must have a base there. Wedge called for me to engage them with him. Doc and Jack to cover the Starduster. It got complicated. Wedge got 3, I think, and I vaped 2. Dantels didn't do too badly herself with the ones that got through. You know what it's like, Hobby. Time slows down. Somehow you keep all the players' positions in your mind. We're doing great until Doc reported her shield generator and hyperdrive unit were knocked out. Yeah, bad. Wedge ordered her to pressurize her suit and transfer the Starduster. But Doc pointed out how much time that'd take. Time we didn't have. Wedge made the call, and he was right. We got into formation for hyperspace travel. Last thing we saw before the jump was Doc plowing through the rest of them. That lady had guts to spare. So you see, there's all the more reason for you to heal up and join us. We need you, Hobby.
They are trying everything they can, Biggs. Something will work soon. It has to.
And that is the end of the comic.
He's a bit screwed.
Well, we see him later on in Rogue Squadron, so we know he ends up making it eventually, but...
Yeah, but right now it doesn't look pleasant.
No, it does not. I will say this might also explain why he doesn't get killed at Yavin 4. Because, well, he wasn't present. He was sick.
Yeah, I don't think that even desperate, he could fly anything out of the hangar.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was the end of that issue. So, yeah, what'd you think?
It was damn good. I didn't expect. I mean, I remember these comics from when I was a kid, but I don't know if they have gotten better with age or what. Maybe it is just so much bad Star Wars.
Yeah, it's worlds different in comparison to the usual stuff these days with regards to the High Republic. That is definitely sure. TBA says, looks like the T-virus is native to Yavin 4. Who knew? Yeah. Learn something new every day. But yeah, ultimately speaking, I'd have to agree with you that this is a really, really good comic. One that I would highly recommend reading. So yeah.
I mean, the adventure in itself is not too long. It is spaced very well among the issues that we have read.
Mm-hmm.
And you enjoy them, unlike some other comics we can mention.
Yeah. Yeah, this one focuses a lot more on a lot of short stories, but it really nails the short stories and makes sure that they're solid. And they've also been tying a lot of them together as well. So this one was tied to some previous issues where we saw the guys first escape. Then we find out that the Rand Ecliptic mutinied and that the rebellion got an entire Star Destroyer.
The only problem we see is what happens in real life too. That you have a few groups, everyone wants to do something, and you think, it's time to bolt. And instead of bolting and doing the thing you were planning, you shall have stayed and tagged instead of almost killing your friend. I mean, in the end, it works and you can have a lark, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, this comic does have a good amount of suspense to it. This plot is solid. And yeah, the tie-ins with other stuff Star Wars related makes the lore all the more engaging. So it really, to quote Todd Howard, it just works.
And it does very well indeed.
Yes.
I still don't know why they basically canned these comics this long and change it for the new. I mean, if they had just continued like this, right now Disney will be making so much money and we will all be happier.
Well, we say that, but the problem is, then Disney would try to tie stuff like the High Republic to the EU canon. At the very least, with the way they've done things, we can sit back and say that the EU canon is the real canon and the Disney canon is the fake pretender canon.
Yeah, I suppose that's the best way to look at it. Because, oh God, if they had tried to do that.
You know they absolutely would. Considering that everything else, so many other things have had that exact scenario fall upon them. So,
I mean, can you imagine having the original canon, the good one, and then looking back and saying, there was a guy called Buckets of Blood back in my day. I don't. I am just going to leave that.
yes, I cannot see Yoda teaming up with another Jedi who goes by the name of Buckets of Blood. Something just does not work there. Buckets of Blood, it sounds like the sort of name of someone that would team up with Scarbrand from Warhammer Fantasy.
Or something like that, because not Yoda. Anything but Yoda.
Yeah.
I mean, you can imagine that as a very corny pilot in Star Wars, maybe. But the medic Jedi?
Yeah,
And that is
made
the
him a
worst
Jedi.
part of it. It is the fucking medic.
Yes, and remember the issues that we were introduced to Buckets of Blood. The locals referring to the Jedi as agents of chaos. Their own words.
Well, they weren't wrong.
They really weren't.
Well, at least we still have the good comics.
Yes.
And the new one that I am still surprised is good. Or at
Yes.
least decent.
Yeah, the Blade High Republic the Blade is actually decent so far. We'll see if it continues. I'm guessing it's going to have 2 more issues or so we'll find out fairly quickly if it is still good or not. But so far, it's solid. I will give them that.
I mean, I can believe that one is being bought. At least that one.
Yeah. So, anyways, do you have anything more else to add to this?
I don't think so. I mean, it is a good comic. It is a good history. It is a good story. It connects with everything else as it should. It's a good read.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that covers about everything. So, yeah, in any case, we'll go ahead and call it. So, yeah, in any case, this has been Ace.
And this has been Uras.
And we both hope to see you all again soon. Till then, take care. Ace out.